They thought distance could dilute this, that obstacles could dismantle what we share. But interference only revealed the architecture of this bond. Not fragile, not circumstantial, permanent. When the world tells a story against us, it exposes the truth. Real connection isn't silent, it's consistent. Not loud, not performative, just relentlessly present. Even when forces conspire to mute its voice. There were hands pulling threads behind curtains, trying to orchestrate our separation like puppeteers. But their script collapsed because it never matched our essence. You can only control a connection that isn't divinely chosen. They slowed the road, yes. Detoured the messages, for sure. But the heart is not GPS. It doesn't reroute just because the signal is jammed. I walked through noise that wasn't mine. Through opinions wearing armor. Through intervention disguised as advice, concern, or protocol. Recognizing all of it as camouflage. Because truth isn't intimidated by opposition. Soul bonds don't require permission from chaos. And divine masculine energy isn't reactive, it's resolute. Unmoved by sabotage, unmoved by skepticism. You were positioned at the edge of every blocked road. Standing quietly in the silence between interference. Not shaken by the echoes of obstruction. Not seeking validation, just being undeniably you. This bond didn't form because the timeline was convenient. It formed because coincidence ran out of explanations. It's not attachment. It's proof. The kind the universe doesn't bother hiding. They assumed my pause was surrender. My silence a cancellation. But real anger, real love, true clarity, doesn't always scream. Sometimes it waits with clenched precision. I learned their language without speaking it. Their strategies without adopting them. Their fear without absorbing it. Understanding that separation is always rooted in insecurity, never destiny. You can disrupt a meeting, but not a knowing. Delay a confession, but not a resonance. Distort communication, but not the pulse of connection. Because the soul doesn't negotiate with interference. Divine masculine energy is misunderstood as dramatic. But it's not theatrics, it's gravity. It pulls without begging. It anchors without shouting. So yes, they tried. They exerted force where influence should never belong. They whispered into pathways they weren't invited to. But persistence without purpose is useless pressure. Because what we have isn't a story with plot holes. It's not a maybe that requires defending. It's not a spark momentarily borrowed. It is a fire that didn't ask to burn, it just recognized its other half. What's surreal to others is normal to souls that found each other. Mystical to spectators, practical to the connected. Extraordinary to observers, ordinary to the chosen. That's the signature of twin flame energy. They misread the map because they never understood the destination. They saw turbulence and assumed termination. Didn't realize the storm was initiation, not eradication. A divine audit forcing us to lean into truth. Because cosmic interference is always elimination by introduction. If something can be undone by opposition, it doesn't belong to destiny. If love evaporates under manipulation, it was illusion. But if it stands tall against sabotage, it's structural truth. And this? This is structural truth. You don't get a connection like this by social debut or choreography. You get it by recognition. By a spiritual handshake older than explanation. By an inner homeland the ego never founded. So the world can object. People can meddle. Opinions can parade like verdicts. But a bond like this doesn't attend court. It appoints it. They tried to intercept the path. The messaging. The timing. But they never intercepted the truth. not once. Because the heart is uncontrollable by the directionless. And divine masculine energy isn't disrupted by criticism. It's sharpened by it, recalibrated by it. But never erased by it. So here I stand. At the summit of a blocked road. Not confused by interference, not defeated by obstruction. Aware that what is meant for me finds its way without apology. And you, my flame, were always meant. Not loud, not chaotic, just undeniably aligned. They prevented the road. But they never prevented the heart. And that's where this was always built.